Good morning and welcome back to Live with Brittnie in partnership with our friends here at Miami Community Newspapers. My name is Brittnie Bassant. I'm president and CEO of ChamberSOUTH, and today I have with me Michelle Shirley. She is the CEO and Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International, and I'm so happy to have her here on the show with me. Hi, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
This is going to be a lot of fun. So Michelle has her own show that she hosts here on Miami Community Newspapers, and she had me on, and we had an amazing conversation.
Yes.
And so now we get to flip, and
we cried on that one.
We cried.
We don't want to do that.
I don't want to tell people that because then they got nervous to go on Michelle's show because they thought they were going to cry. But it's a very real show, and I think that lends to who you are and the mission behind Be Strong, and it's real. It's real, and sometimes the emotions come to the surface, but that's okay because it's okay to feel those things, and it's okay to have those emotions.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited to be on here with Michelle. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I know you very well. I'm so fortunate to know you. But for those that don't, tell me a little bit about your personal and professional journey, and we love a fun fact.
Oh, wow. Okay. Personal journey. Well, I never intended to be a leader of a nonprofit organization, of course. I actually wanted to be a doctor.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I was outside cutting up the lizards, and I was really tomboyish. People don't know that, but now I'm like, I don't want to go camping. I don't want to do anything. I've changed. So growing up, I just did great in school, didn't have a problem with academics or anything like that, and got a scholarship to University of Miami where I was on track. I was going to go to UM Med School and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And took Bio 150 and chemistry, and I was just like, I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like it. And I was studying way too hard, and it wasn't coming naturally anymore. So switched gears to business and graduated from there and worked at a low income sort of clinic and really fell in love with just patient care and all of that. And eventually that program was working on a proposal, and I flew different places because of that clinic. It was really great opportunity to expand and learn and grow my skill sets there. And Be Strong received a grant that this clinic did not get. And so the founder at the time just said, hey, just give me all your people and I'll hire them and they'll work for me. And that's how I landed at Be Strong. So pretty interesting. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So that was cool. And I guess I mixed it in there. Personally, my parents came here from the island of Jamaica. Yes. And my dad had a really tough time acclimating here.
How old were your parents when they moved?
You know what? I can't say for sure, but I do know that they were a young married couple. And so with my dad not having a car and not having certain things to get around, it was difficult for them. And they made it. He started to do well. He started working at the airport. Back then, Pan Am, Eastern Airlines. I don't even know if people remember, some people that are watching even know about those airlines. I still actually have the pack of cards.
Really?
From Eastern Airlines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was great at mechanics and became, a maintenance manager with on the ground equipment and stuff like that. But my parents at home, it was different. Some domestic violence situations started happening, and it was very intense. And so they ended up going through a divorce, and it was one of those divorces that dragged out for a long period of time, to the point where I had to testify about things. And so you can imagine, as a young middle schooler, having to stand on, be on a witness stand and share things. So it was a very traumatic experience, but it made me who I am today. Somehow I still had that resilience to want to have a family of my own. And it never stopped me from academically achieving my goals and graduating high school, actually top 10% of my class.
So every time I sit in this room with Michelle, I get so emotional and I just want to give her a hug.
I know, last time it was
like, we're starting so early right now. And I want to, but again, she's extremely real. You're so real and you're so honest and you let people in. And okay, so I'm going to go so off script and so off topic here, but,
Go for it.
I said, I know Michelle really well and we do a lot of work together in the community and we're involved in a number of different groups. And so we're on social media. We do the whole LinkedIn thing, right? And she posted, well, she's the recipient of the Miami Women Who Rock award, like Rockstar
Award, yeah.
Rockstar Award. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Emily, if I'm butchering the name of this award. But she is getting this award from Miami Women Who Rock, and she posted on it. And the way that she posted about her, like her announcement of this award was incredible because she was like, it's such a great feeling when you just you have your head down and you're just doing what you think is right and what you are doing for the community and you're just doing your job and you're just going about your everyday life, and then someone says, I see you and I recognize you and I appreciate you, and that's so true, and it's such a testament to who you are and your character and how you lead Be Strong and how you're so real and you're so honest and you're so open with the world, with all of these guests that are watching and virtual strangers, but you let them in, and that's refreshing because I think a lot of people don't do that. So I had to go off script there for a little bit and talk about this, but we're gonna lighten it up with a fun fact, Michelle.
Okay,
Come
sorry.
on.
Fun fact. All right. Fun fact. I really love cars.
Cars. What's your favorite car? I feel like Grant Miller now, like peppering you with questions.
I love the Audi R8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But fun fact is, I actually, when Fast and Furious came out, I was dating this guy in high school, and we were into cars, and so I was fixing my car up. I had a stick shift Mazda 626. It's not even a race car material, okay? But somehow I'm changing the lights and I'm doing all these things. And he had an MR2 that I would love to race. And we would drag race, which was really bad, right? But we would do it. And it was very exciting and exhilarating, and I just loved cars. I loved the rush of driving fast and switching gears and the whole nine. So I got a lot of attention with boys because of that. But
you said that like I got a lot of attention with boys.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good all the time. But my husband and I share that thing of cars,
that's
and
awesome.
So yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about like healthy relationships, but I always, some of the best advice that I've ever been given or just kind of realized is that when you have something that like connects you in a relationship, something that you can always come back to, whether it's, a love for cars or music or movies or humor, or whatever the case may be, like you always have that thing that kind of like brings you back together and gets you both excited.
Yeah.
That's really
cool.
important. That's so cool that it's cars.
It's cars, yeah.
How
people
fun.
would know.
How fun. That's awesome. Okay, so so you love cars and that's like your fun fact, but what are you really, truly the most passionate about? And it could be personal or professional. I mean, you're in the not-for-profit field, so there's a lot of passion that comes with that
it's just natural. I think it's natural in a nonprofit field to be passionate about many things. I would say I really have this affinity for helping women. I actually just got a text here this morning from someone who's further north, and she basically said she's moving to a whole different sort of role, and she's reaching out to the chief heart officer because she wants to meet a mentor her in this new capacity. And I'm just texting her like, oh my God, I'm about to go on the show, but I'm going to hook you up with my assistant, because I just love that. I love being able to share the nuggets of wisdom that I've had. And people think like, okay, well, you're so young, like you haven't lived. You would be surprised the things that I've gone through with Be Strong and just in general in life. And so that's really my passion, women, and just helping them achieve what it is that they want to achieve. Yeah.
And I will say, and I don't know like how necessarily taboo this is to say, but we're going to say it anyways, right? Because we're honest and open. I think in the past, really, truly like decades ago, there wasn't the sort of sisterhood or the empowerment from women helping other women that you see now today.
Yeah.
I think in the past, of course, women have faced struggles for a number of years and decades. And so really, unfortunately, it felt like you were not only fighting like all of those struggles, but then you were also fighting with your fellow women, because it was like you had to, the only way that you get ahead was to tear someone else down. And that is horrible. And that should never, ever be the case. And unfortunately, like we went through a period where that happened, but now I'm so thrilled because some of my closest friends and my strongest advocates are like my fellow women leaders. And I love that like the CEOs for like so many major organizations in Miami-Dade County, including our mayor, who I always shout out.
I know.
You know, we're definitely a very like female-led county and
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So I love that. And really women do now, I think more than ever, support each other.
Absolutely.
And build each other up. And I love seeing that. We see it with Miami Women Who Rock and Emily Zuby, who's an amazing woman that empowers other women. And like I said, there's so many female CEOs in this space and female leaders.
I love it.
It's incredible.
I love it. And I have this even more special affinity for the underdog, like the women who aren't seen, because I've been there. I've spent years like, okay, how do I do this? How do I make sure that Be Strong is on the map? How do I make sure that, you know, my family's okay? How do I make sure that, you know, trying to juggle all those things is critical. It's crucial. You know, if you don't have a happy home life, you can run a successful business, but when you go home, you know, it's like not being happy really, it can scar you.
Yeah.
It's hurtful. It can damage, you know, you in many ways. And so I'm always looking for those women who are like, hey, and I met one last night.
Yes, I was just thinking about that.
I love that. I love bringing women up, you know? So when it happens to me, it's just like, oh, I do this for other people, so now it's happening to me. Oh my God, you know.
And that's what happened. This woman that you met last night, and I have to share the story of how I met her. Did she tell you that story of how I met her?
No.
So it's very interesting. So I was at, you know, we do a lot of these events, and we do a lot. You know, a part of being in the roles that we are means that you have to kind of, you know, do the event circuit and all of those things. So I was at the Orange Bowl actually, and I saw a couple of gentlemen that I knew in the community. They were like sitting. You know, sitting in one of the open areas. And so I walked up to them and I'm like, hi guys, just, you know, saying hi, you know, networking, connecting, whatever we do. And they all kind of like stood up and said hello to me. And they, you know, like, hey, Brittnie. And they all kind of stood up and, you know, kind of exchanged like the Miami hug kiss sort of thing. You know, exchanged a few words, and then I walked away. And so she was at the counter serving with some of the kids from this program that she runs, and they call me over and they're like, ma'am, excuse me. And I walked over. I you know, wasn't very busy, but probably the only person that didn't watch the game. Yay, sports. I'm walking around saying hi to everybody. And so she calls me over and she's like, I have never seen someone who looks like me and who's a woman and who's a woman of color, like walk over to like a group of you know, of white males, and they all stand up to greet her and they're so respectful to you. They're like, what do you do and how are you able to do that? Wow. And so we started talking and we connected. Like, you know, I'm a president and CEO of a chamber, and we started connecting. And I gave her my card and I'm like, reach out to me. I would really like to, you know, connect with you and help you and introduce you to some of the people that I work with, because they're incredible and they're amazing and they want to help organizations like yours and people like you. And so we started connecting that way. And she came to one of our chamber events last night, and she connected with a number of people. And she's like, I want to get involved. I want to join. She lives all the way up in like North Miami, you know, but the opportunity is here for her in South Dade. And so we're happy to have her. And it was great. And I was like, you have to meet Michelle, because she's another amazing CEO that's doing incredible work in the community. So
super cool. Yeah.
It's a very, very, very fun story.
That's what I love.
So yeah, and she's an underdog. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Be Strong, because you said the words Be Strong like 1,000 times. And if you don't know what Be Strong is, let's find out.
Right. So Be Strong, we're a nonprofit organization. We have been around now. We'll be celebrating 31 years of service. Yeah, people are a little bit floored when we say 30 years. They're just like, so how come I haven't heard about you? And I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. We're working on that.
So can I also just jump in and say, you've been CEO for 10 years, which is a third of that. Like you've been leading this organization for a significant amount of time in its history. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so 31 years of service.
Yes. And what we do is we specialize in what we've coined as heart skills. And that's really about like how your will, your intellect, and your emotions all line up and make you who you are. And how do you express yourself in relationships, right? How do you perceive yourself, and how do you connect with others, and how do you emotionally remain stable in like the worst situations when it comes to relationships? And so we take people through a series of courses, and that's everything from young people in the schools. We, of course, partner with Miami-Dade County and Broward County Schools to offer these services. And those courses are all about, your passion, your purpose, toxic relationships, how to avoid them, how do you best feel love, how do you receive love, things that we don't learn other than through trial and error in relationships. And so we're kind of that guide in the classroom for
Things that you
students,
also
and
might
they
not
love
be
it.
so conscious of. Like you
Right.
may know, but you don't know until someone lays it out for you.
Explores it
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Yeah. And so we're kind of that guided facilitator, and it's really fun. The facilitators are amazing. They travel all over. And then we have parent workshops, because parents always struggle with, like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just doing my best, and I found this in this bag and I don't know what to say. And, I think my kid might be exploring with, certain risky behaviors. Like, what do I do? And so we're that voice of reason, and we talk to parents about how to raise responsible children, how to raise confident children, how to talk to them about risky behaviors. How do you navigate some of the most taboo topics today? Parents don't know how to do that well, and so we guide them through that.
Yeah.
Married couples, how do we help them regain intimacy and communication, and then community work with social yaks and our new game, and just getting corporations to even have what we call now happy cultures, right? So it's amazing. It's all relationship based. Yeah.
And there's so much that I could say about Be Strong, because like that's just like you gave me a lot, but it's
I
still
know,
not
and it's
everything
a lot.
that
I know, and it's
but
a
it's
lot.
still not everything. It's still not everything. So
know.
I know that you always start by saying that Be Strong moves families from brokenness to wholeness.
Absolutely.
And I
yeah.
think that that's such a powerful statement. And now learning, because every time I sit here in this room with Michelle, I learn new things and I get really emotional, and learning about your journey and your past and kind of how that's shaped really what you do today.
Yeah.
Because my question I always ask people is like, what did you want to be when you were younger, and how has that shaped what you do today?
Yeah.
But with you, it's like, what did you go through when you were younger?
Oh, yeah.
And how has that shaped what you've done
Yeah.
today? And hearing that story earlier and now bringing it together with you're trying to help heal families and move them forward. That's incredible. But that's not even everything that you guys do
I know.
so much, because I think that you serve like an underserved community as well. You step up to like fill a gap whenever it's needed. Like it might not even be something that you do, but you're like, we're going to do it.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna do the toy drive. We're going to do the toy giveaways for Christmas because these families need it. We're going to you do food giveaways every month.
Yeah, the food drives with Farm Share.
The food drives every month with Farm Share. And you do these, so you have opportunities to help, that you're serving the community, but you also have volunteer opportunities for people who just want to get out and do something good.
Yeah.
I mean, there is so
lot.
much that we can
Yeah.
talk about that Be Strong does. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So here's the big question.
Uh-oh.
No, it's an easy question.
Okay.
If someone's sitting here like, oh my God, that organization is checking all of my boxes. Like I love, their heart skills. I love their food drive. I love their, connecting with families and Marriage Matters program and all of these things.
Yeah.
How does someone get involved with you?
Oh my goodness, definitely. First, can I give them my cell? No, I'm just no.
Don't
well,
text her
they
while
would
she's on
go.
my show, guys.
Well, definitely on our website, if they go there, they will immediately see a pop-up, and that's really our CRM, just saying, hey, how can we help you? And if they just put in there, hey, I want to volunteer, or I need a parenting course, someone will reach out to you within 24 hours, because we get those alerts in the house. And so that's the easiest and fastest way to communicate with us.
So there's two avenues, right? Someone who wants to get involved with Be Strong and say, okay, I need some of those services.
Yep.
And then there's people that like, I want to help you
Absolutely.
with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted, like if they need the services, like they're like, you know what, this is great. I have a child at home that I don't really know how to address certain things with. How can I help that? Like how can I have those conversations?
I mean, yeah, they can call or they can just jump on our website, and everything goes through the CRM. If they want to get to me, if they want to volunteer, if they want to make a donation, right there. I mean, on our volunteers sign up page, they can also go through that platform as well.
And here's another great question. Like, how much would this cost?
Which, free.
There we go.
Yeah,
Everything that
free.
Be Strong does is absolutely free.
Yeah,
It's a service
yeah.
to the community. So it's
We do have a revenue generating side when it comes to social yaks, like the
with the
product that we
corporations,
created.
yes.
Right.
When you're doing
Definitely.
like corporate social responsibility and team
Yes.
building and that sort of
Just
stuff.
wanna make that
Absolutely.
clear. Yeah.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's for, for businesses that are trying to develop healthy cultures. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
if you are a parent, or if you, are in a
Correct.
situation where you feel like you need help with, relationship building and relationship
Yeah.
skills, absolutely reach out to
Yeah.
Be Strong, because all of these services are free,
Yeah.
and they're available to help the community. It's incredible. So what opportunities, like for the volunteer, but also just getting involved? So I know we have the farm share giveaways, the food giveaways. It's every month.
Every month.
Right. So
Yep.
those are like on the schedule. They
Absolutely.
run.
Yep, they're
And
on
you
our
take
events
volunteers for
calendar.
that. You can come out, you can give out and it's like 7
Absolutely.
o'clock in the morning. So you can do it
Oh,
before you go
yeah.
to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're done by 11, 12, depending on, unfortunately, the number of cars that show up and what we might have in stock when Farm Share brings their food delivery. But that's one way. Another way is definitely just, joining our board. We're always looking for board members. We want to, of course, get to know who you are, but that's another way that I think is a great way to serve nonprofits everywhere, not just Be Strong.
Yes, absolutely.
They're always suffering from looking for genuine people who want to give support in that way.
And now we're talking to the business community. So what opportunities do you have for businesses to get involved?
Oh, well, right now we have an amazing event coming up. It's
Yep.
called Hearts in Rhythm. We're honoring some really amazing guests. As a matter of fact, Baldwin English. Yes.
Baldwin!
Yes.
He's my former chairman of my board of directors.
Exactly. I knew you would get happy. He's
such a-
amazing. Yeah.
This public
with
knowledge? Why has no one
FPNL.
told me that Baldwin's being honored?
Yeah, right?
We're going to embarrass the heck out of him now.
I know Pat Morris from Miami-Dade County is,
yes,
is one of our
Pat.
honorees. Yeah.
Yeah, he works for the mayor.
So,
Yes,
yeah, we have an
absolutely.
amazing list of
Wow.
honorees. Yeah. And there's sponsorship opportunities there because there are going to be some incredible people in that room that
Yes,
night. And
absolutely.
we've really done well to get people to know who we are, and we've shared our impact in so many ways on social media, of course, and with our annual reports. And so I think that's a great way for organizations and businesses to be seen. And it's going to be a great night. As a matter of fact, South State Bank is our reception sponsor.
Ooh, shout out to South State Bank. Is that
Yes.
Lisa? Lisa
Yeah,
Greer?
Lisa
Yes,
Greer.
Lisa's on your board.
Yes.
Another amazing woman
Yeah.
doing incredible things in the community. She's like
Oh,
chair of the
Everything.
South State Chamber of Commerce. Like she's a rock star. And
rock
when we talk
star in her
about
own
these
right.
female leaders, like they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm
Lisa's amazing.
I love it.
Lisa's amazing.
We were at the State of the County the other night. Of course, Mayor
Yeah,
Cava's first in-person State of the County
Yeah.
address since she took office, and I was standing there and I looked around and I couldn't help it. I was like, we need to take a photo because it was like Maria Nardi, the director of the Parks
yes,
Department, the female. We had Commissioner Regalado, we had Commissioner
Yeah.
Cohen Higgins, we had the vice mayor for the
power team right there.
for
You gotta
Palmetto
take a
Bay.
picture.
We had the vice mayor for Pinecrest. We had like the CEO of the Girl Scouts. Like I'm like, guys, and it's all and it's not it's not like a girls' club by any means, but
No, I know.
it's incredible to see the female leadership in Miami-Dade, especially when you think of Miami-Dade as such a large area and a huge metropolitan area, and to see just
Absolutely.
that leadership. So that's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
Lisa's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So we have opportunities for businesses to sponsor silent auction items. I'm sure you're still looking for those as well too. And
Everything.
number of ways to get involved and be
Definitely,
strong. It's an
definitely. Reach
incredible
out.
organization headquartered in Palmetto Bay. Been doing this amazing work for 30 years. 31.
31.
Get that right. 31 years. Over 30 years. Now we're just over 30 years.
Yeah. We can say that
Yes.
proudly. Yeah.
So we're going to start wrapping it up a little bit, unless there's anything else you want to talk about for Be Strong. Do we feel like we hit all of, there's so much that you guys do.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we're always innovating.
Yes.
What we do. I'm really thrilled about the game.
Social
Yaks.
yaks. Actually, let's talk about social yaks.
Yes.
I was thinking, I was like, is there any like initiative that's coming up? Because there's like a backpack drive or the food drives you do every month. But
Yeah,
social yaks is incredible.
is on sale right now. We're having a little promo right now.
Oh, it's
so
on sale?
definitely go and see. Yeah, check it out. But it's an amazing tool for people to use, and you can use it practically anywhere. Road trip. Like what we do with our culture trainings, like we just did something with MasterCard, which was really amazing. But social yaks is a tool that allows people to be vulnerable. And that's what relationships are about, right? How can we be more empathetic towards one another?
Absolutely.
And a little bit more vulnerable and connect in ways that we haven't connected before? And you'd be surprised at the productivity that happens in a culture that is very much in tune with each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you read Harvard articles, they mention it all the time about, great cultures and how culture can, if you have a horrible culture, it'll eat strategy for breakfast,
absolutely.
right? And all those sort of things. And so Social Yaks is where it's at. Would love for you to purchase it or just look it up online. Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yes, 100% with regards to the culture in a workplace, because that's where you spend the majority of your time. You spend more time at work than you do at home. And I'm a big believer in like we need to have like the culture at the workplace needs to be strong.
Yeah.
Like you need to, I want my employees to look forward to coming to work every single day. You should not be dragging your feet. Like it should be a fun, safe place that you can do your best. For those that don't know, I love social yaks. I do. I have two. I have two games, or like I have two products. I don't know what card games.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Social Yaks is a card game.
Yeah.
And there are like 4 categories of question. One's like an icebreaker, and then one's like get social, dig a little deeper, and then use wisdom. And so they kind of, the icebreakers are like the easy questions. Like, what's your favorite song? And then the get social gets a little bit more, it gets a little bit deeper, and then the dig deeper, like they're really asking you some tough questions. And it's all animal themed, and we know I love animals. I love it. I love this game.
I connected with you, right?
I love this game. And then the use wisdom is really cool because that's where you answer questions about the person. So I would pick the card and I would have to say, I would have to answer a question about you. And so I love Social Yaks. I have one at home and I have one in my office. And I love playing it in my office. I play it with my employees. I play it with like people, like members that stop by, board members. We we'll have lunch. And it's gotten to the point where like, they're like, can we play Social Yaks? I'm like, yes, I love this game. Yes, we love this game. And the cards there's so many cards that we have not been able to get through.
We wanted to make sure that people had, time to spend.
But I have it in my office and people are like, oh, can we play the card game? And I'm like, yes, we love Social Yaks. It's a great,
so cool.
Great tool, great gift.
It is.
For,
it is.
Like, especially in like a business setting, it's a
absolutely
unique gift.
Yes. We've had, as a matter of fact, we've had coaches purchase our gift to give to their clients.
Yes,
so,
I love
really
Social
cool.
Yaks. I get so excited for She said Social Yaks. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yes, I just want to throw that in there.
I know. Now we're like starting to run out of time because I get started to talk about Social Yaks, and then all of a sudden it's like they're waving things at me saying that we're getting low on time. So we're gonna wrap up now. Our last question that we always ask to all of our guests. It's a 2-part question. What's the best advice that you've ever received, and what advice would you like to leave our audience with today? It could be the same thing, but
best advice I've ever received. Wow. The advice wasn't given to me. It was something that was said openly. I was at a school board meeting, and there was a board member that said, never be scared of your genius. And it resonated with me because I'm one of those people that are constantly just ideas are always flowing through my head. And I used to kind of shudder from it because team members would be like, oh my God, she's coming up with another idea. Oh my God, we didn't even do the first 3 ideas, And so, and so the reaction would startle me a little bit, and I'd be like, okay, let me just keep it to myself. And of course I have this online notebook of like everything I've thrown up, so far, but, that's who I am. And I think that's
what makes you a leader, Michelle.
Yeah,
that's why you are.
It's me coming into it now. Yeah, yes. It's me coming into it now.
Leaders and their followers, and that's what differentiates the leaders from the followers. Is that you're the ones that are constantly thinking, innovating, strategizing. How can I make it different? How can I do it? And I'm going to double down on this and be like, why are you fighting this?
Right. Now 2023, I'm not. I am like a new person, right? I mean, I was on another call sharing like I'm over it. But that quote I heard like, a couple years back, but that's one. So never be scared of your genius.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As far as giving to someone else, I've gone through some stuff in the last 3 years, personally, and I would share, never be a prisoner of someone else's brokenness, because I think in my experience, I've seen where, again, and it might be along the same lines, but people go through things and they wake up angry or they wake up upset or they've got a lot of things going on, and you can find yourself really in a place where you're like, are you projecting that on me? Mm-hmm. And now do I need to change who I am? Mm-hmm. Do I need to, dodge these bullets or these emotional, word games you're playing with? All those psychological things that people go through. And so I think it's important that that's what that person's going through. And I'm here to support, and I'm here whether you want my advice or not, or I'm just going to be here. But I don't want to be a prisoner to you.
Absolutely.
And
I think people, there are two ways you can deal with things. You can either internalize or externalize. And I think that we as individuals need to recognize when someone's externalizing their struggles and their feelings onto us, and really being able to guard against it. You can be empathetic.
Yes.
But you can't let it affect you.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to change you, you know, and make you second guess who you are as a person. And we do that a lot, especially as women.
I absolutely, because we're so empathetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Because
like, no.
we feel that. We take that on. So yes,
Done.
that's great. My God, it's great advice and an incredible way to end our show today. So again, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Live with Brittnie in partnership with our friends here at Miami Community Newspapers. We film these shows every Friday morning right here at the studio. So if you want to learn about how to be on the show and talk about what it is that you do, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us at info@chambersouth.com, or you can call us at 305-661-1621. Again, thank you to Michelle for joining us today, and have a great